Good morning and welcome back to Questioning Sense with me, Matt. I hope you guys are well. I hope everything is fine. I'm on a bit scratchy voiced. I think it might be a bit of hay fever. I'm on annual leave, so I'm looking after the boy this week. And if you're following us on Instagram, you'll have noticed what we've been up to, etc., etc. Anyway, today this is a long-awaited video. I've been meaning to do this for quite a while, but I thought I'd get it out of the way now. Following on from the very successful Q&A videos with the Auto Paresi collection, we've decided to do them with the Nasomattos as well. I don't know, the two brands, obviously they're both Alessandro Gualtieri's brands, but there seem to be brands that throw up quite a lot of questions. So a while back I kind of announced that we were going to do these, and this is the first one. I thought the best place to start would be with probably the most misunderstood fragrance in both the collections, and that is Nasomatto's Fantomas. Now, a little while ago, I announced on Instagram that I was sort of fielding questions. So I've got, I think, 8 questions from people from Instagram and from people that follow the YouTube channel. So what we're going to do is we will talk a little bit about the perfume itself, and then we've got, it's 8 questions to answer. So hopefully what we can do with this video is kind of clear up a little bit of the confusion around Fantomas, because as I say, it has been, I think, massively misunderstood. I think people were probably looking for a different kind of perfume, and when it arrived, because it is quite different, I think it threw a few people off. But I've had a bottle for quite some time now, and as you can see, I've worn it an awful lot. So I'm, well into this. And I think also what happened, I mean, this is the 3rd video that we'll have done on Fantomas. We did a teaser when it first came out. We saw the teaser videos, and then I did a first impression. So we've not actually done a full review of it. So this is kind of going to be the Q&A plus the full review. I'm not concerned, but I'm doing some research on this. I watched quite a few other reviewers talk about Fantomas. And I think what happened, especially with a couple of the reviews I looked at, people were rushing to get the video out because the perfume is very new. And I think, with most of the fragrances I've got from Gualtieri, my opinion has changed on them massively over time. So I really wanted to get to wear this one a lot before we put the video out. I said to Rich, we'll hold back on it, and let's really try and understand this perfume before we answer your questions. So I think this is going to be one that is, it's going to be like an ever-learning process with this perfume. I think you're never going to know it inside out, despite wearing it for months. So what we'll do is we'll have a quick chat about the perfume itself, and then we'll answer the questions, and that's about it then, really. Okay, so Fantomas, let's have a look at it. Usual Nasomatto format, 30ml X straight, crazy cap and small bottle. I did speak to the brand, and apparently there will be a new cap coming out soon. It will look exactly the same, but I think it will just be a bit more solid or a bit more metallic, maybe. I don't know, because this is a wooden cap with a sort of a plasticky mirrored effect on it. I think the overall presentation is beautiful. I love them. I love the sprays. The atomizers are really good. They're pressurized, so they give a really fine mist out of this incredibly interesting perfume. So generally what we would do now is list notes, but there's no point. Alessandro Gualtieri doesn't list notes, so there are no notes. So personally, I think it's a bit churlish to try and sort of take notes from Fragrantica or something like that, because they're not right. Quite simply, this is just what people's opinion are. So my opinion, it doesn't really matter. What we want to try and discover is what the perfume wears like, smells like, etc. And listing notes isn't really going to give you a clue. But the general consensus is it's a smoky, fruity, plasticky, gunpowdery, bubblegummy, citrusy perfume. So what I will say is it's incredibly modern. There's lots and lots of kind of synthetics and aroma chemicals used in this perfume, as there are with pretty much everything that Gualtieri does, and to devastating effect. So we will go into the questions shortly, but I just wanted to say I love this perfume. I think it's absolutely awesome. If you've not tried it yet, I strongly suggest you do. If you're interested, if you like the Nasomatto project, you like the Auto Paresi collection, the chances are you're going to certainly enjoy it. You might not love it, but you certainly will enjoy it, and you will certainly appreciate how it's made, because I think it's an incredibly clever perfume as well as a joy to wear. So what we'll do is we will get into your questions. Okay, so the first question, which is a common question with regards to all of these perfumes, is who can wear it? Well, I can tell you now that Fantomas is completely unisex. It smells amazing on a guy and it smells amazing on a gal. So In terms of who can wear it, anyone can wear it, any age can wear it. It's got enough sweetness, I think, to appeal to the younger thruster, and the more mature fragrance enthusiast will certainly smell great wearing it too. So yeah, it's not I don't know, there's no sort of captive market for it. Anyone can wear this. It's an incredibly versatile perfume in terms of who can wear it. So again, anyone can wear Fantomas, and anyone will smell really rather interesting and rather good wearing it. Okay, the next question is one of the most pertinent ones, and that is it beast mode? Well, this is really split opinion, actually. A lot of people, I noticed with the reviews, are kind of bemoaning its power. They're saying, oh, it's not strong enough. It doesn't even behave like an extrait de parfum. It's not potent. Well, I can tell you for a fact it's really potent. I think it's one of the strongest from the collection, especially now how the collection are. I think the most potent fragrance from Nasomatto at the moment would probably be Nudiflorum, but this one's not far behind it. But it does it in quite a confusing way. Now, Fantomas was inspired by this French master villain who was kind of like the master of disguise and was difficult to catch, and he'll pop up here and he'll pop up there, and that's kind of what the perfume does. When you spray it on skin, which I'm about to do now, I am wearing it, but we'll have another little I'm trying to take it easy really because I'm caning this bottle. So we'll put a little bit on my hand now. When you spray it on your skin, it's strong, it's there, it's very noticeable. And then it kind of just floats around you, and it behaves to me very much like Maison Francis Kurkdjian's BR540. It's an incredibly airy perfume, so it's not necessarily where you think it's going to be. You are in a cloud, and it's got a very strong sillage, and basically it pumps out a lot more than you think it does. So when you're yeah, it's still there, but it kind of disappears a little from your skin, and it just goes up into the air. And this is where I think people are getting a little bit confused with it, because they're thinking it's not very strong, I can barely smell it. There's a couple of reasons for that. Firstly, it's all around you, and secondly, your nose becomes quite accustomed to it very quickly. So it's not like you're going nose blind to it, but it's almost like your nose is kind of filtering it out a bit, so it's not as intense as you think it is. But trust me, this really belts out. It's really noticeable on me. I get a lot of positive comments from it. Well, I get a lot of comments. Some people are kind of a bit more bemused by it. It's not like a compliment magnet where people are rushing up to and fawning over you and telling you how amazing you smell. It's more like, oh, that's interesting. What's that? So it is definitely very noticeable, and I think it lasts for blooming ever. You know, if I wear it to work, I come home from work and it's still really noticeable. I'm still in this air, and you know, my family are like, oh wow, and it smells almost sometimes when I come home from work like I've just applied it. So it is a lot more potent than people have given it credit for, and I think basically, as I said earlier, it's the airy nature of the perfume that's confusing some people, because it's a lot more potent than you think it is. So it's no slouch at all. It definitely is an extrait de parfum, but because it uses so many airy aroma chemicals, it behaves differently, not weaker, differently to others in the collection. Okay. Does it lean masculine? No, not at all. You know, it goes back to who can wear it. I think it does. It suits the guy, it suits the gal. If you think it's masculine, it's masculine. If you think it's feminine, it's feminine. I think, you know, going back to the age-old argument, is there gender in perfume? I don't think there is. I think anyone can wear anything as long as they're confident wearing it. You need to wear the perfume, don't let the perfume wear you. If you're happy with the smell and you are enjoying your perfume, then you're wearing it. You know, you can wear anything. Me and my wife swap perfumes all the time. I wear some of hers and she wears quite a lot of mine. So, you know, I don't think there's a gender in perfume, and it's certainly not a gender-specific perfume in Fantomas. I think it's very much a unisex perfume, and I think anyone can wear it. The next question, question number 4, we are thundering through these, is one that I get asked all the time as well with the Nasomattos. Is there oud in it? The answer is, I don't know. And interestingly, a very good friend of mine who has a bottle, a real perfume lover, and also someone who's really into oud, he thinks that the smell of Fantomas is very much like burning oud chips. Now, I've burnt a lot of oud chips, but I can't really pick that up. I think I can pick up the smokiness and the airiness of it, yes. But to me, this doesn't strike me as an oudy perfume. There's no barnyard, there's no skank, there's no medicinal notes or anything like that you would traditionally associate with oud. Now, I know Alessandro Gualtieri loves oud and he's very into it, so I wouldn't be surprised if there hasn't been some oud in here, perhaps, or at least a synthetic type of oud. But if you're kind of put off because you think it's going to be an oudy fragrance, you've got no worries on that front. I don't really get any oud. I can understand why people think it might smell like burning oud. To me, I haven't made that association, but it could well have oud in it. But it's not going to be an oudy fragrance, shall we say. Another question that comes up with regards to Fantomas, and this is another really pertinent one, is does it smell like anything else from the collections? Well, I think it does, a little. I can certainly pick up parts of other fragrances in it, but only in passing stages. So it's not like really close to any one specific perfume from either Nasomatto or Alto Praise. I also noticed quite a few people that are saying that it smells like Duro in the dry down. I personally don't get that at all. For me, it has a little bit of blamage in there, in the same way that there's a fruitiness to blamage and there's a fruitiness to Fantomas. A lot of people think it smells like melon. I did originally. I'm not so sure now. I don't think it is melony. I think there's certainly like a lemony kind of vibe to it. Certainly sort of a citrus kind of vibe to it. But I wouldn't say it's a melon per se. I don't really get it. As I said, I thought I did in the beginning. I got this kind of soft melon, but the more I smell it, and that's one of the reasons why we've held back on this review, is I don't really get any melon from it at all anymore. I do get a fruity undertone, but it's not a melony. If anything, it smells a little bit like Seminalis in the dry down. It has that kind of creamy nature to it. And I find Fantomas does have a creamy level, especially in the dry down. There is a sort of a creaminess to it. It almost at times feels like you've taken Bergamasque and Seminalis and put them together to get this kind of dry down that you get with Fantomas. There's a little bit of China White in here. I'm sure I picked that up in the opening. And then I sometimes feel that the musk is more aligned with silver musk. Like all Gaultieri's fragrances, Fantomas has a musky element to it, and he does it so well. It's a beautiful fragrance for that respect. I mean, the way he deals with musk, I think, is phenomenal. It's by far, you know, the way Gaultieri uses musk basically is by far my favourite perfumer's use of musk, shall we say. So it does have influences to me of other perfumes from the house of Alto Praise and from the house of Nasomatto. Not so much Duro, which a lot of people do get. I don't particularly get that. But you could say it's taken little facets from various other perfumes from the house. Okay. Can I wear it to work? Well, I wear it to work, but I don't have a normal job. So yeah, I can wear anything to work. I think you can wear it to work, but you must be aware of the airy nature of this perfume. If you're working in an office, I would go incredibly light with it. You can wear it though, but just be really careful with it, because it's one of these perfumes that kicks out so much more than you think it does. So just be very, very light on the trigger. And the next question is, what season fits it best? Well, I think it works all year round, no problem at all. I've worn this on very hot days and it belts out. It loves it. It just floats around everywhere on a hot day, and on a cold day, it's perfect too. It's got enough about it to cut through that cold air, so you can wear it all year round. Because of the airy nature of the perfume, it doesn't become oppressive to the wearer. So you can wear it on a hot day. I mean, maybe not a scorching day. I don't know, I tend to either look for sandalwood or citruses when it's really, really hot. But you might like it on a hot day, but I certainly think it's wearable. I think, you know, on a spring morning or a summer's evening when it's still warm, and you know, when you're out in the summer's evening, you're going out at the hottest point and it gets cooler as the evening goes on, and it would be perfect for that because that heat will make it come alive. And like a lot from the collections, it does seem to be affected by body heat. So the warmer you are, the more kind of potent the perfume becomes. So it's a definite all year rounder for me. Okay, the next question and the final question, and I don't know who sent this one in, but this makes me laugh. Is it a date night fragrance? Well, you can wear it on a date if you like. I personally think, for me, there are other perfumes that I would wear on a date. I'd rather wear Pardon, or I'd rather wear Nudiflorum. But yeah, I mean, what the hell, go for it. Why not? If your partner or your prospective mate likes a crazy perfume, then go for it. So in closing, Fantomas is going to always be one of these perfumes. It's quite confusing, but to me, it's stunning. It's so difficult to describe. I was at the pub a couple of weeks back and there was a guy outside vaping, and I don't know what he was vaping. I didn't get a chance to speak to him, but he was like, doing these big clouds, and one of the clouds absolutely smelled like Fantomas to me. So it was kind of there. I mean, a lot gets made of the smoky and the gunpowdery notes in this, but I think it's more of a steamy kind of thing, like a smoke machine rather than a fire. I don't get any gunpowder from this at all, but I'm not saying that there isn't any in there. I don't know a lot about gunpowder. I've only ever been shooting a couple of times in my life, so it's not a note I know that well. I have other perfumes with gunpowder in, and it doesn't smell like them, so I have to go by that and think, well, it's not particularly gunpowdery. But there is definitely a kind of an industrial smokiness to it. And in summary, this is a sweet, fun, exciting, ultra modern perfume that I think is absolutely brilliant, and it's so unique. And I know I mentioned earlier it's taken little bits from different perfumes to my nose, but the way they're all put together means it is completely unique and it's different to anything else that I've ever smelled. I love it. I find it exciting. As you can see, I'm nearly halfway through a bottle of it already, so that's not a good sign, because that means I'm going to have to get another one. But I really love it. If you've tried Fantomas, please let me know what you think of it, because I'd love to get some feedback from you guys. But there you have it. That's your questions that I've been sent answered, and my take on an ultra special perfume from the genius that is Gualtieri. So there you go. I hope this has cleared up a bit, and I hope I've covered some of the questions that you wanted answering yourselves. So listen, thank you very much for your time, guys. It's always a pleasure, and we shall see you on the next video. Cheers, thanks, and bye.